Pittsburgh at Philadelphia. Philadelphia is -5. This one's taking a jump. Like it went from 4.5 on Sunday night to 5.5. Most places it came back down to 4.5, nearly everywhere except Bet365. So look around, get the 5 if you like the Steelers. Look, the Eagles have made some noise the past 24 hours. Brendan Graham, I don't know if you saw this on WIP
I did.
Philadelphia, but he came out and basically said Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown aren't friends anymore. Jalen Hurts, who is AJ Brown's kid's godfather, uh, there was a lot of noise after that game, right? Jalen Hurts threw for 108 yards. He has the fewest passing attempts of any quarterback, starting quarterback in the league this year. Yes, AJ Brown, point blank, what's going on with the offense? He just said one word after the game: passing, throwing his helmet on the field or on the sideline. Devontae Smith saying we're not on the same page. Something going on with his offense. Like as good as Saquon is, Jalen's struggling, and that's been a theme for 2 years now.
Yeah, and I forgot to bring it up because I had an amazing stat for someone like you that's just been hating on Hurts. You'd have him in your top 10 coming to this season. You've been bad mouthing this season. Before this weekend, him and Josh Allen had literally the same exact stats for total touchdowns, for turnovers, for yards rushing and passing combined. Their stats were literally the exact same. So on one hand, Josh Allen's the greatest QB ever, having the greatest season ever. And here's Chad just shitting on Hurts, who's having literally the mirror season until this past weekend. Obviously, Josh has pulled ahead now with his.
Is that true?
Yeah, it was like because Hurts has the cheat code of the 12 rushing touchdowns for the tush push, and now he's even more because they just did it again this past week. But Josh Allen's doing the tush push. Didn't hear much people shitting on him about it, getting tush pushed into the end zone. Yeah, I think AJ's a diva. Like I knew AJ was a diva coming in. The Brandon Graham thing is spooky because it's like he didn't say they weren't friends. He's basically saying Jalen Hurts is like trying to make things work, and AJ is basically saying "fuck off." Like I don't even want to talk to you right now, which is like terrifying. Like I agree with you. That's not what I want to hear. But it's like, dude, your team is the 2 seed. You haven't lost in 7-8 weeks. Like it just sucks that people have those type of personalities where it's never good enough. Like. Keep it in house. Just keep your mouth shut. He didn't need to make that soundbite to get everyone going crazy like this. But hopefully they work through it. But like, AJ's in a weird spot where I guess he wants the ball, but the Eagles are a run first team. They have the best weapon of football right now in Saquon. So it's like if Hurts goes out there and they throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Carolina Panthers and we lose, is that a good thing? Is because AJ is now happy because he got 150 and 2 touchdowns and a loss? It's like I feel bad for he doesn't really understand that. Like because I don't know if it was last year or the year before, he had this crazy year with all these touchdowns and a ton of receiving.
Yeah,
and that was really fun. But it's like we saw that last year that didn't work once it got cold out. And like you just said, Jalen Hurts, I'm with you. I agree with you. He is not consistent. That is a weakness of his where he's like a couple other quarterbacks in this league that. They need to see a couple of 3-4 catches in a row to find a rhythm. If they don't get those 3-4 in a row, he'll put up what he did this past week, whatever it was, 11 of 19. Like he'll just never get in a rhythm really passing wise. And the new personality of this Eagles team of just being a run first team has not helped that. So I do agree with that. But in this matchup, I mean, this number, like we talked about, it's so telling that who's betting the Eagles? I don't get it. That's why I'll never understand this number. Or shouldn't we all bet Pittsburgh and then just let this fall where it may? It's like Pittsburgh earned that respect. And, we talked on Sunday. I was a little worried about this number because it's like, what's going on with Pickens? Now we've had Tomlin soundbite saying he's probably not going to play. He said it's really doubtful that Pickens plays in this game. That's a big deal. Like that is a big deal against an Eagles defense that is legit. Like obviously their kryptonite is other white guys. Adam Thielen tore them up last week, but overall this has been a really stingy defense. And even against that Ravens team, we saw they can make stops when they need to in big time spots. So yeah, it's a game where I don't know what to do, Chad. I really want to take Pittsburgh. I just am worried I'm missing something here, that maybe I'm overvaluing Pittsburgh and this is the right time to jump off. But why is this number not 3.5? That's my biggest issue to me. It's like, even my model thinks this is too overvalued. So even the human element, take it out of it. It's like, okay, we're supposed to take Pittsburgh here.
Mike Tomlin as a road dog of between 4 and 6 points, nearly 65% against the spread. He's basically north of 60% in every category breakdown as a dog. Like, I know we're always looking to thread the needle on these things and pick the spot where we think it's going to work. We did it with the Chiefs. Um,
You know
we
this line's fishy though.
It's totally fishy
It's
because
so fishy.
it's completely fishy. Um, I worry that the Eagles will react to this week's drama and come out better than ever.
Oh yeah, because that was a
Um,
loss. That Carolina game, that feels like a loss in that locker room, right?
yes,
Yeah.
100%. They are not walking out of that game thinking, yeah, we've won 9 in a row. We're still the 2 seed.
Yeah.
And we've got the best running back in football. They're not thinking that. Um, but they continue to have a dominant defensive line, and their offensive line is really good. It's why Saquon is second to Josh Allen in the MVP odds. And look, you could, if not for the fact Josh Allen is a quarterback and doing it in dramatic fashion in some really high profile moments, Saquon, the odds should be much closer. Josh Allen is like minus 400. Saquon is plus 400. It should be more like minus 100, plus 200, because Saquon is leading a team that is number 2 in the conference, that has a better record, and he's on track to break one of the most sacred records in all of football, which is the total rushing yardage record in a season. Josh Allen's team has 3 losses, right? And he's on track to do miraculous things, but how many records is he going to break? He's just going to be a spectacular quarterback who's leading a team that has a really good record. I mean, I don't know. I have a Saquon bias. I love the guy. I think he's so fun to watch. Love his attitude. I love his athleticism. I think what he's doing this year is spectacular. I love the fact that he's sticking it to the Giants. Um, but I feel like we got to bet on Tomlin.
Yeah.
There's just no reason not to.
I know, I hate it because it just feels way too easy. But
It was
again,
gonna. It
easy's
was
been winning. Like last week, the Chargers felt really way too easy, and that's what was spooking me on that number as well. And every idiot in the world's like, "Well, this is the spot you take them. It's over a field goal. You take the Chargers over a field goal against the Chiefs." And the same thing with Pittsburgh. It's like everyone I'm talking to, even the book yesterday, this fucking guy at the window goes, "Pittsburgh easiest bet of the week. There's no way Tomlin, no way he loses by 3." And it's like, fuck, man, I'm making that same bet. God
Yep.
damn it.
I know.